Hello and welcome to another episode of Monday Markets on a Tuesday, again due to the bank holiday in both the UK and the US this time yesterday, which was of course Monday. If you enjoy content, please do drop a like and consider subscribing. It really does help us out, really do appreciate it. So, last orders on a Friday, spoke about obviously going into that 3-day weekend, thought that price was going to, or price action was going to be pretty lackluster. There wasn't going to be much going on, and if anything, I thought maybe just like a slow bleed until markets returned on Tuesday. How wrong I was. We ended up having a pretty decent rally across the entire weekend, which is a bit of a surprise. We've not really had much price action over weekends previously, and as I say, I thought with that extended weekend, a lot of the sort of liquidity and volume was going to be taking the weekend off. Wasn't the case at all. So we'll get into the charts in a second. Let's just quickly go through what to expect this week. Not much, essentially. If you take a look, there's a couple of speeches, and then towards the end of the week, we've got initial jobless claims and some employment stuff, employment reports, etc. And if we take a look at the economic calendar, again, we've got non-farm payroll on Friday, and apart from that, not much. So you got Eurozone CPI on Thursday, although I'm not sure that's going to affect the market too much. Maybe a bit of the FX side of things, euro versus dollar, etc. But not too much in terms of data coming out this week. So it's probably still all focused around that debt ceiling limit, which I think was the cause of the rally we saw over the weekend. There's been some tentative agreements made, and obviously the market does like certainty. So let's get into the charts then. Monthly time frame BTC. So we've got just over a day to go. So the first is on Thursday. So as you can see, it's pretty much going to close not far from where we are today, unless something crazy happens. But just capped at 29.3k, as we can see, same as last month, small wick above. We didn't quite make it down to that 25.2k monthly level of support, which I thought we would have. So yeah, that's pretty much what the month is going to look like, as I say, unless something crazy happens. If we go take a look at the weekly, not really much we can take from this. We're still in a bit of a downtrend. We obviously had a pretty positive green candle last week, but we're still not really cleared any sort of resistance level. Nothing really significant, in my opinion, on that weekly time frame until we really get above 29.3 or down to / below 25.2. So still just chopping around in no man's land, really. If we go to the daily, so as I've been saying for the past few weeks, I really thought that a definitive daily close below 26.6 was going to lead to that quick move down to 25.2, especially considering we'd already had that fake out on Friday the 12th of May, so we'd sort of cleared the way. And so when we got this daily close below on Wednesday, I was pretty confident that that was it, and anything up towards 26.6 was just going to be a bearish retest before finally capitulating down to 25.2. As I said at the beginning, how wrong was I? That is not what happened at all. We ended up just deviating, closing above on Saturday, and then big rally on Sunday right up into this sort of mid-range area. So if we take 29.6k as the top of the range and 26.6 as the bottom of the range, you can see that this level at basically 28k is the mid-range, and you can see it's a clear level of support and resistance as well, and that's what's capping price at the moment. So yeah, be interesting to see if we get a confirmed daily close above this, and I would expect a run up to that 29.3k monthly level and 29.6k daily level. So just complete the range, or we could obviously reject here and come down, retest 26.6. I think a lot of it is going to be based on how the US market reacts this afternoon. So the US market has been closed since Friday. We've got the S&P futures that are open, but the market itself isn't open until this afternoon. So it'll be real. I think that will be a key indicator as to what we're going to do in the short term. If we take a look at ETH before we take a look at the S&P, so pretty similar. Obviously, it's just been following BTC. So we deviated that 1820 daily level, and we've not quite made it up to that 1940 daily level. But if we go to the higher time frames, monthly, we're still above that 1720 monthly level, but any upside push that we've had has sort of been pushed back down, as you can see by these big wicks. If we go into the weekly, we are holding that 1783 weekly level support, but until we get above sort of 2k, this is still chop in my opinion, because as you can see, we have had attempts to try and push above this that have been rejected, most recently at the beginning of May. So yeah, until we get a sort of definitive close and hold above, because of course we got a close above on the 10th of April, but then we deviated straight away the week after. So really want to see price get above and hold above this 2k level for a push up to 2.3k, or of course, if this is just more chop and we eventually come back down and break 1783, then retest 1721. So at the moment, bit of no man's land, and as I say, we are waiting on the US market to see how that reacts. If we take a look at ETH BTC, I'm pretty sure I covered this last week, but this is slowly creeping towards this bearish trend line that you can see here. So from the swing highs of the 5th of September last year and 9th of Jan this year, so creeping up. If it can break this bearish trend line, come and attack the 0.07 weekly level of resistance, which is obviously the start of this leg of the move here for 17th of April. Break that and you're making higher highs, because you could argue we've made a low here and then made a higher low in the end of April, start of May. So breaking above, so we've already got a higher low, break above there, you've got your higher high, and if we hold above that, then you could argue that an uptrend is well underway. So could be quite bullish for alts, particularly alts versus BTC, which have been absolutely hammered and have just had no upside for a long time. So that's definitely something I'm keeping my eye on as the weeks go on. Even on the daily time frame, you can see we just keep creeping up. Any sort of downside is being negated, and we just keep pushing. So certainly something to keep an eye on there. Let's take a look at the S&P then. So we've had a big gap up from, I believe, futures opened last night. So we closed on Friday and opened early hours of this morning. So we have gapped up. We'll see if we do finally get that push up to the range high of 4327, and then what reaction we get to that. I'm expecting a rejection, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. We might not even get up there. Who knows? But if we were to get up there, come back down and then test 4175 as support, potential higher low there, and that could be the start of a run, or of course we could just deviate the whole thing and come crashing back down. So it all really does depend on the macro environment, the debt ceiling limit, all that good stuff. So something to keep an eye on. The dollar still looking pretty strong, as you can see. Cleared the mid-range and starting to have a little bit of a pullback today, as you can see. But yeah, I'm expecting, or was expecting, that to get up to 105. But of course, we'll have to see what happens, as I say, with macro stuff. But maybe a retest of 103 as support, that mid-range there, before the final leg up to the weekly range high. Who knows? But it is looking pretty strong. 3 very solid green candles there on the weekly time frame. The VIX still very low, which means, as the saying goes, when the VIX is low, look out below, and the VIX is high, time to buy. So maybe not out of the woods yet. So there's some mixed signals going on, that is for sure. But as I say, we will wait to see what happens with the US market open this afternoon, and then that should give us a good signal of the short-term price action direction. So 3 alts to watch this week. Starting off with DOT. So if we go on the weekly time frame, you can see we closed below the monthly mid-range weekly level, coming up for what could be a potential bearish retest. We go to the daily. So a potential short trade here. First of all, I want to highlight this $5.25 level. I cannot believe this level held after so many tests. As you can see, I mean, I can't even be bothered to count how many tests that is, but had a couple of tests here back on the 9th, 10th, 11th of March, and then we came here and I was convinced that with all these tests it was eventually going to break, especially with BTC doing what I thought was a bearish retest of 26.6, but no, held, and a pretty decent rally from it. But in terms of a trade this week, a potential trade is a bearish retest of this weekly level with confluence of this daily level here. So any sort of entry in and around here, maybe sort of average entry in and around $5.60ish, with your invalidation basically being a daily close and hold above $5.64. Then that could be a good short. And then if it does break and hold above, then you could look at potential longs to the start of this leg of the move up here, potentially at $6. Or if we do break down, a close and hold below $5.25 as well. So maybe an entry up here, and if it does go your way, starts breaking down, TP here, and then if it breaks below and has a bearish retest, then you could compound that position. Or as I say, if it breaks above and holds $5.64, jump on a long and aim for this $6 area. So a couple of options there for DOT. VeChain, weekly time frame, you can see we've deviated this weekly level of about just below 2 cents. So that looks pretty strong. I think we could be coming for a bearish retest of this 0.022 weekly level. As you can see, very, very strong level of support. We broke it. We never came up for a bearish retest. That could be what we're doing here. And then again, if we go to the daily time frame, you've got confluence with this daily level here. So again, maybe an average entry order, splitting your entries up from this 0.021 daily level all the way up to the 0.022 weekly level. Couple of orders in there. Again, your invalidation would basically be getting above 0.022. Certainly on a weekly close, you might even want to get out on a daily close. And then a potential, if we get up to sort of 0.022, this level here, that if you close and hold above that, that's definitely a good cue for longs, I think, up to this 0.026. But yeah, of course, if it does go your way, enter the shorts here, comes back down into this weekly level, TP there, and then again you've got this level down, this daily level here at 0.019, break below that, daily close below that and hold, bearish retest. You can either compound if you're still in the short position or enter a fresh position there. So long and short availability trades available there. And then BNB, we go to the weekly, still trending down from that weekly range high deviation. We go to the daily. This is much more simple. So we're in this tiny little daily range here between 315 and 303. Basically a daily hold, a daily close and hold above this resistance. You can go long up to the range high, or a daily close and hold below 303, bearish retest, jump into a short and aim for the weekly mid-range day level at 273. So yeah, they're the options, in my opinion, of what potential trades could be. As I've said over the past few weeks, on our Learning Crypto Premium service, we do have the Earn While You Learn, which is where I go through trades similar to this, but in a bit more detail, and actually take the trades on the exchange. So if you've never traded before, if you've only ever invested, or maybe you've never even seen a chart or gone to an exchange before, it's a really good way of learning the basics, so you can learn some risk management, how to trade safely, simply and effectively on an exchange. And then once you've got all the basics, we do have a Discord as well, and we've got a new channel open called the Trading Room, which is where all the members chuck in their analysis and trades and talk about different trading setups and styles. And as you can see, they've been absolutely smashing it over the past couple of weeks. Some really, really good trades. You can see that all the TAs there, discussions there. You can see the profit screenshots as well. So yeah, if you're into trading, it's definitely the place to be. Lots of learning and lots of profits being made as well. So if that's something you're interested in, go check us out, learningcrypto.co.uk, and check out Premium, free trial available. So yeah, shameless plug there. But let's see how the US market opens up. Let's see what happens for the rest of the week. Keep an eye on those trades that I talked about on DOT, VeChain and BNB, and on Friday we'll go through them all and see what happened and how effective they all were. So have a good week, stay safe out there, could be a volatile one, and I'll catch you on Friday.